Welcome back to the Reentry Room. This is the space where we stop pretending that working motherhood has to look one certain way and we actually start telling the truth about what it looks and feels like. Feels like. That's a good way to start. I'm Alexa Starks. I am an award-winning workplace culture innovator, a coach for working moms. I'm the founder of Executive Moms, and I'm a mom to two little toddlers. And it is a Friday here, so I've got Friday mom brain, as you can already tell. But I have an amazing guest with me today. Her name is Elisabeth Wilt. And Elisabeth, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
So happy to have you. Okay, now for all of you listeners, it's by the time this comes out, it'll probably be in beginning of January, I think, based on my planning. And I recorded an episode with Elisabeth on her podcast called Womb Talk, all about my birth stories with both my kids and the very two different birth stories that they are. So if you want to hear all the fabulous, slightly graphic, but I think I was pretty mild in the graphicness of it.
Oh yeah.
As far as birth stories go, I tried to be like, I would call that PG, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty PG.
It was pretty good. But I mean, The thing is, I guess it depends how you see birth as. Like, see, I don't see it as graphic, so I'm like, it's just kind of the part of life a little bit. So I don't know. My level of graphic is totally different than other people's.
That's true. That's a good point because you are a doula. So please, for all the listeners, I would love to have you introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you do, who you are, and how amazing you are.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I will take it as such. So I'm Elisabeth Wilt, as you said. I am a holistic doula and women's health coach, and I live in Canada, in the prairies, which sometimes sucks because it's very cold. Like, we're supposed to get minus 21 Celsius tomorrow, so that's not fun.
That's cold.
Not fun. But I love all things women's health. I have really been interested since I got my very first period. And I've just, ever since 11 years old, kind of really been in this field without even me knowing that I was going to get into this field. So I help people from fertility all the way to menopause and everything in between, and soon puberty. I'm kind of working on some things behind the scenes in that realm a little bit as well. But I help people virtually, and I help people in my area. So that's just a little bit about me.
I love this. I love this. I mean, it's so funny to talk about periods. I don't remember if we got into this. I don't think we did. But when I got my first period, I was 12, and I had no idea what to expect because my mom got hers late, so we hadn't had the chance to have the period talk. So I thought I was dying when I got it at 12 years old. And I'm sure other people have funny period stories. But it was, I'm so glad. I love what you're doing. And I love that you're helping as a doula. I think birth is such a natural thing. And the more we can take ownership of our birth experience and not just default to an in-hospital birth where they're pushing what they want to do on you, the better experience we can have. Is there a cat in the background?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I hear it.
No need to apologize. I love it. Okay, what's his name? Her name?
I have two cats. One of them is Pretzel. She's 3 years old, and then I have Ginger Snap, who's 2 years old, and she's orange, and she really does only have one brain cell.
That's so funny. Ugh, I miss having a cat, but two butts to wipe is enough for me. Two poops.
The sound never travels, and then you'll hear it sometimes in my YouTube videos. They'll peer. They're not sitting anywhere near where I'm filming, and then all of a sudden they appear, and I'm like, I'm recording right now. This has to be right now. They're really famous on the internet. If you see my corner, you'll see them all the time pop up.
That's amazing. I love it. Oh, okay, cool. So let's dive into then the meat of this episode. So with our guest interviews, we either do one of two different topics. We do a confession share where you give a big confession, or a what she knows, which is where you give a big life lesson that you've learned, big piece of advice about motherhood or working motherhood or yourself and how other moms can apply it. So which one are we going with today?
I decided that we were going to go with the one about I now forgot the two statements you said, but the ladder that you.
The ladder, the what she knows. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Let's do it.
So
what you got for us?
I was coming to tell you all that there is a person out there for everyone. And I don't mean this just in relationships. I just mean this with the people that we are around all the time. So when I first started my doula career, I really was like, no one's going to like me. I had a lot of issues with the people in my area that they knew me since I was younger. So if there was a person that was like, oh, I'm looking for a doula, and they mentioned multiple people, then the other people knew that they talked to me. And they're like, oh, no, I have an appointment with this doula. And she's like, oh, well, she's younger. She doesn't really know what she's doing. She hasn't had children. And so there was a lot of backlash that I had with that. And so when I first started, I was like, okay, that's it. I guess I am too young. People would rather, you just wait till you have your own kids. And then I had someone that I met online, and they were talking to me, and they were like, do you go to a male OBGYN? And do they ever have kids? And she was like, don't let people's BS cut. Yeah, like other people's BS, don't let that stop you. That was more of just, she said, probably a scare tactic to get those people away from me. So then we ended up moving, and everything happened with 2020, as we all know. And when I came here, I finally just decided, you know what? You can do hard things. We're going to go back into it. We're going to really try it. And I had found clients in Ontario that had worked with me, and I found clients here, and it's because I just was me and authentic. And so that's why I kind of give that advice to other people, that I'm like, you could just be your authentic self, and other people, you'll find the people that want you as you. So don't sit there trying to change yourself just so that you think everyone will all of a sudden, oh my God, this is going to be everything that I need because I made myself fit in, when in reality, just being you will get the people you need. So I guess that was where I was going with the whole thing.
I love that, Elisabeth. Thank you so much for sharing. I mean, this sounds really like imposter syndrome. Exactly. Right? Where you're just like, who would want to work with me? Who would want to hire me? What experience do I have? Right? And so many moms go through that when they're coming back from maternity leave, going back to work, and they're like, I don't know who I am anymore. Can I even do my job anymore? Or they're even thinking of pivoting and leaving to entrepreneurship, and they're like, well, what do I do? What am I good at? Who would even want to hire me? And I know when I first started, there was many times where I was like, who would want to work with me? Who would want to hire or buy from me? And I know so many people have those similar thoughts. It's just imposter syndrome and rearing its ugly head. So I feel like you experienced imposter syndrome and fought it back and was like, no, of course I can do this. Why wouldn't I be able to? There's male gynecologists and they haven't given birth either.
Absolutely. I was like, what kind of BS? I'm trying to be PG here for you, but
no, like, be PG, be R, like I'm all good, be raw, be vulnerable. But seriously, like it's such bullshit that we tell ourselves. It's this big mind fuckery. I'm gonna have to put like explicit content in the Spotify section, I think. I don't know, how many times can you drop an F-bomb? How many times can you drop an F-bomb? I don't know. But yeah, it's our minds twisting it and trying to tell us one thing when in reality we're fully capable of doing whatever it is we want to do.
Yeah. And well, like you were saying too about when you go back to work after having a child, like the most interesting thing I found when I started learning my doula stuff is that with birth, they kind of represent it as like you almost left your body to then go collect your baby and come back down into your body. And so I love that visual representation a little bit, because I thought it's, you do become a new person after you have a baby. It's a whole new life. Your life completely is different as you know it. And so you can't just step back to where you were 9-10 months ago to a year, because that person is kind of gone. You're refinding yourself. So there's a lot more when we unpeel the layers behind motherhood of what actually is happening. So, no, I agree with you. It is kind of under the imposter syndrome speech, but I thought I would share that because that was like a very life-changing thing for me, because after that I was like, nobody can tell me what to do, really. I can choose to do whatever I want to do.
Yes, you can. I love it. Look at this female empowerment for a Friday. This will probably come out on a Tuesday. So if you're listening to this, it's Tuesday female empowerment.
Take whatever day empowerment it is that you are listening to it, and just be like, that's right. and screaming in your car and be like, yeah, I can do this.
Yes. I love it. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. And I want to wrap up with, based on your expertise, being a doula, coaching women, helping with all things women's health. I would put like a broad generalized term on
Yeah.
that. What's your biggest piece of advice for our listeners who are predominantly moms?
Well, beyond just doing whatever you want to do.
Yes, beyond that,
Oh.
biggest piece of advice.
Get the support you need. You don't need to do it alone. Although you are superwoman, I give every mom out there the superwoman badge of honor. I give it really that, you don't have to do it alone. It's very hard to ask for help. I completely agree with you. But at the same time, there are people who want to help you, but they don't know when to just come into your life giving you help.
Yeah.
So you got to ask for it, as hard as it is. I think with AI now, you could probably ask AI, help me write an answer to ask for help. and then you didn't ask it. Something else.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. There's definitely something so important about finding a community, finding support, and being able to advocate for yourself. And I know that's something that I do, I work on. And in my reentry blueprint system that I share with moms, it's all about how to advocate for yourself, how to plan your maternity leave, your transition back to work, what to say when you need help. Because I know for me, that was the biggest struggle, was I had no idea what to even say, what to even ask like for help. And when I was struggling, you just get so bogged down in the moment, and it's so hard to pull yourself out of it. And so I love that. I love that. Get the support you need, whether it's therapy, a workout, some vitamins, I don't know, supplements, whatever it is. I love it. That's so amazing. Well, thank you so much, Elisabeth. Where can our listeners find you online?
Well, I do have a website. It's fruitfulwomb.ca, or I'm pretty much on almost all the social platforms at Fruitful Womb Doula. And I spend way too much time online. I know this. It's a little bit of addiction. But if you texted me probably around midnight, if I'm not sleeping in, then you may get an answer right away, because I will probably be online. So if you need any questions or ask any help, I will try to be there as a sounding board always.
That's so funny. I love it. The Fruitful Womb Doula. And I'll link to that in the description below as well. And as well to some of my resources. If you're a new mom, if you're pregnant and planning your maternity leave, you can check out the Reentry Blueprint system that I have. I'll put that in the description as well for resources. Thank you so much for joining us, Elisabeth.
Thank you for having me.
This was so great. All right. And listeners, if this conversation hit home, please share it with another mom. So that we can get more resources and help to other moms in need. And other than that, we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks.